Hey everyone, how's it going? Matthew Bailey here, and welcome to a new web series on or playlist of videos on my channel that I'm going to be starting based on theories that I have come up with. And for the first episode, as you can see from the screen, I am doing a Power Rangers theory, and that's then the shows are within each other's timelines, meaning they're somehow connected to the same timeline. At first, I didn't think this theory could be proven until I realized there are multiple scenes within each of some of the shows that definitely tie in the theories. Like, for example, in Lightspeed Rescue and the Time Force connection. So, in Time Force, somehow the Lightspeed Rangers still exist even before, like, if the future Rangers never showed up and West was just sitting around doing nothing, I mean, technically the Lightspeed Rangers still would have realized that he could be a huge asset to being a hero. I mean even though they were there, it was West it was the red Lightspeed Ranger who got West and was able to help him realize then that their enemy Vipro has risen again and is trying and realized that some future villains came back in time so she could use their help. Then, speaking of Time Force, they also had a connection with Wild Force, because even though Time Force mostly takes place in 2001, the next year, 2002, is when the Wild Force Rangers formed. And the crazy thing is, the Time Force Rangers enemy Ransik, I think he definitely, I can't really prove this, but I think it's a possibility that Ransik can almost live forever. I mean, because according to an episode I saw in Wild Force, when they were teaming up with the Time Force Rangers, Ransik was telling a story about how he was around during way before 2002, apparently, even 2001, because somehow that's how the Orgs, which are the Wild Force team's enemies, they never showed up until like 2 or 3 years before the events of Wild Force. So but then these two so-called mutant Orgs came in at least 5 years before the events of Wild Force. So that's how you know Ransik has been around for almost 1,000 years, which kind of makes sense, because technically he's a mutant, and normally mutants can't really die unless you really kill them. But based on how Ransik's mutation is, I don't think he could possibly die. Unless you count what happened to him in Time Force when he has to keep drinking a formula. But other than that, he's basically lived forever. On to number 3 for the Dino Thunder SPD connection. Now, there's a few things there's I think 2 connections between these two shows. One is that the Dino Thunder and SPD technically take place 21 years apart from each other, because Dino Thunder takes place in 2004, SPD takes place in 2025. And even in the episode when they first met each other, the SPD Rangers were telling them about how they need to go back to their time, because this guy developed some software, then the Blue Dino Thunder Ranger developed software that they use at SPD headquarters. The Yellow Dino Thunder Ranger went on to become a big star, and the Red Dino Thunder Ranger even has soccer programs all over the world, which is one of his goals. Now on to number 4. This is one of the main reasons how I know it takes place within the timeline. The Super Mega Force Legendary Battle, where the Mega Force well, technically, it started with the first season of Megaforce, which was just called Megaforce. But according to what I know, all the way back to In Space, when to Power Rangers In Space, when Zordon apparently was supposedly killed off, in the first season of Megaforce, these 5 teenagers meet a weird robot along with the master of the sanctuary, known as Gosei, who apparently supposedly became Zordon's successor after he died way back during the time In Space was happening. But for some reason, he waited for so many years after Zordon died to form a new team of Rangers. Especially now that there have been so many Rangers in the past, even after In Space, that they think they can easily team up with the past Rangers at some point, and that's what this legendary battle was. I mean, we even freaking see the original Green Ranger Tommy Oliver. Can you believe it? He was the only one out of any Ranger who's been the Ranger so many times in his years of life, and I cannot believe that these really do have tie-ins with each other. Even some of the newer seasons, like Dino Charge, for example, near the end of the first season of Dino Charge, Sledge is trying to release Heckle, a so-called monster as he thinks, that can help him get one of the Energems, since he basically looks like a human. And as he breaks free and tries to make a deal with Sledge, he walks up to him, and look right here. The little red circle indicates that this monster, it was from Mystic Force. She was the bad lady who was down in the underworld with her master. And honestly, I thought she turned good by the end of the Mystic Force. That is, until I see her here in Dino Charge. And speaking of Sledge, my little bonus timeline theory for this show is that in the beginning of Super Ninja Steel, or not Dino Super Steel, at the end of Dino Supercharge, right before they went back in time to stop Sledge, he supposedly went into a black hole along with the Earth. But in the first ever episode of Super Ninja Steel, we see him come out of that same black hole into the universe of Ninja Steel. And it's crazy because he even finds the Warrior Dome in bad shape and is about to sell it for scrap. And until Madame Odious shows up, that he makes a deal with her, trying to fix her ship up for the asteroid that hit her ship. Unbeknownst to her, that it contained Super Ninja Steel, until one of Sledge's prisoners proved her loyalty to Madame Odious by telling her Sledge's secret as to why he really wanted the asteroid. And the fact that he said his wife, Poisandra, loves rocks, that was a total lie. So that's how you know a lot of these shows of Power Rangers from when it started in 1993 and it's still going on now in 2018. A lot of these have ties in within the same timeline. And if you think my theory is correct, let me know in the comment section below. If you don't think it's right and you want to give reasons as to why, leave that in the comment section below as well. But as always, this has been Matthew Bailey, and I will be doing more theory videos later on, but I will see all you dudes in the next video.